So when kids are taking the iStation test, it's going to force them to take the ISIP test at the start of every month. The first time they log in for the month, it's going to make them take the ISIP test. The ISIP test is 4 different sections: vocabulary, excuse me, word analysis, which is basically spelling, comprehension, and fluency. So what I did was I took the test during in what's called the teacher station. If you have access to iStation, you can click on the teacher station and go through it so you can see it for yourself, or I will just kind of show you the basics of what they see. It won't allow them to do anything else until they've taken that test for the month. The test is supposed to monitor their progress in iStation.
Tap the arrow to move on.
When that happens, at the end of it, it's going to send them, the program is going to send them to the reading level that they tested at. So for me, I just went through the test and I just randomly clicked like some of our kids do. And so my starting level for January was a 401. So if you see kids on something that looks like this, this is their progress monitoring. And so it's going to show me here, it's going to show me what iStation thinks my goal should be for next month. My highest score was fluency. It was the only section that I actually paid attention to. My lowest score was vocabulary. So if your students are in my English class, I have built assignments for them to go to, and I'm going to show you what a couple of those assignments will look like. Because the way iStation is set up, wherever they test, it's going to send them, if I just keep going, it's going to send me to where it thinks I should be. So it's going to give me some skills to practice that are at my level. The problem is, if kids are testing at about the same level every month, it may be having them repeat the same lessons. So if you hear students say, I've already done this, or it always gives me this, that's what it's doing. Once kids are finished with the ISIP test, it's going to recommend a lesson based on where they finished on the test. So when I took the test, I just clicked through and guessed on everything except for fluency. So my overall reading score was actually pretty low. And how do I know that? When it gives me this lesson, it won't give everyone the same lesson, but if it gives me a lesson and I click on this, you can see that the animations are very geared towards small children. And I don't tell kids this, but when you're walking by and glancing, you can sort of get an idea of what is happening. I'm going to unmute my speaker so you can kind of hear what it's teaching them.
Letter M. Click on the lowercase letter A.
So you can kind of see, like, when kids are working at this level, they either have a very low reading level or they sort of went through and clicked and guessed. So one of the things that you can do is make sure that kids understand that if they don't take the ISIP test seriously, it will actually send them to a level that may be well below what they actually read at. And so then they're going to get kind of these babyish lessons that they may or may not actually need. The other thing that you can do, if their teachers, their English teachers have set up assignments, this is the suggested level of assignment that kids should be getting from their ISIP results. Their English teachers may have a better idea of what level they're at or what type of activity could help in general all students that we have. So if students, once they are done with their ISIP test, if they click on this menu button here, this button for assignments should be lit up. Now mine's not because I'm on the teacher station and no one has assigned this teacher any assignments. But if they click on this assignment button, if their teacher has input any assignments, they will have like a class and a set of assignments that they can go through. Some are based around vocabulary, some are based around word analysis and spelling, some are based on fluency or comprehension, just depending on how the teacher organized those lessons. So if you have kids who are saying, I've done this lesson already, it keeps giving me the same thing, ask them to click on the menu button and go to assignments. If their teacher has put in any assignments, they'll be right here and they can just sort of click through and accomplish those. I know for my students, I'm telling them, if you do some of these assignments on iStation, I will give you some extra credit on your English grade. The last thing I would point out, and I think this happens on all the student pages, but like I said, I'm in the teacher station, so I can't guarantee this, but these 3 little dots right here should open up into a library where there are books that they can read, beginner, medium, advanced, and then nonfiction. There is a writing lab, and there's also, now this says teacher station, so I don't know that these are going to be the same, but if you want to know what these different levels are like, you can see, if you look at the progression of the animation, you can sort of see what grade level they're aimed at. So like this one is Paige Turner is the character, and it's science-based 3rd through 5th grade. So if you see kids with a character like this, it's giving them an activity that's based on a reading level from 3rd to 5th grade. Again, I'm not an iStation expert, but I know that some teachers have never used iStation. So this is just sort of some basics. If you're an advisory teacher and you just want to know more about what is available for your advisory students, you might ask them, click on assignments. Their English teacher may have put some extra things in there that might be more targeted towards just vocabulary. And if that's where they're scoring low on that ISIP test, you could direct them there. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out and ask away.